Hello and welcome to Big Talk, live from the nation's capital. My name is Adika Michael. A pleasure to have you join us again tonight. Let's begin with the recent reaction coming from the presidency about some concern. A lot of persons are insisting that due to these the situations of insecurity in the nation, President Tinubu ought to have ceased his stay in France, returned back to Nigeria to respond to all of those matters. But this is what the presidency has responded. They are assuring Nigerians that President Tinubu remained fully in charge of the country's affairs despite his ongoing stay in Europe, adding that he is expected to return to Nigeria after the Easter holidays. In a statement issued today by the Special Advisor to the President on Information and Strategy, Bayo Onanuga, the State House clarified that the President's absence was temporary and consistent with the earlier communications time frame of approximately 2 weeks. The President Ahmed Tinubu remains fully engaged in Nigeria's governance, even though he is away in Europe. The statement read, his return to Abuja and the resumption of duties of Aso Villa will follow the conclusion of the Easter holiday. According to the President, Tinubu left Paris for London over the weekend and has remained in constant communication with top government officials at home. He also noted that he continues to issue directives on key national matters, including recent security developments across the country. The presidency emphasized that the president's commitment to duty remains steadfast and that there has been no disruption to the administration's activities during his absence. That's the message coming from the presidency, of course, in response to the backlash from the media. Due to the insecurity challenge in Plateau State, in Benue State, can the president return and, of course, terminate his holiday or break? Call it the time the presidency said a time for him to reflect over the economic policy of almost 2 years of his administration. That the presidency has responded that President Tinubu is still on top of the game. He's speaking with every, actors and those that matters in the country and the key officials in respect to what really matters to his administration, even during his absence. But tonight, everyone, we'll be turning attention again to look at the matters arising from the preparations towards Anambra 2025. A lot of issues are being raised. The preparations of the All Progressive Congress to take over Anambra, being an APGA state, is still a major concern to everyone. But away from all of that issue, the prevailing situation of insecurity in that state is still a concern and worrisome. And how can all of that matter be addressed, not just Anambra, even within the southeast region of this country? I've got, of course, one who have been in the ballots to contest for Anambra East and West Federal Constituency at the last primaries of APC in that state, and a chieftain of All Progressive Congress, Honorable Ruth Esedo, is live here on the show to add voice to this conversation. Thanks so much for joining us on the program. Yes, good to have you. A lot had happened prior to your primaries. Can you measure the primaries of APC? You know, because many persons are looking at how organized it was, even when some persons are saying it looks that it was marred with a vote buying of the delegates and all of those political issues that have been raised. Yeah. How do you see the recent concluded primaries from APC?
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Michael. First of all, I want to thank the National Working Committee of stepping into the recent primary election. Before now, APC have not been disorganized in their primaries. Like I was during the last election, I contested for House of Rep, Anambra East and West Federal Constituency. And I must tell you that this primary election is the best we have ever seen.
It's different from what
we have experienced in the past. So I want to thank the National Working Committee. I want to thank Mr. President also, who is the leader of the party. And also I want to thank the State Working Committee and the delegates, because without the delegates, we can't win this primary election. So this election is the best we have ever experienced.
It was totally free.
It was
the
totally
people,
free.
The delegate came out
the delegates
to elect
came
who
out
they wanted.
and elected who they wanted. Imagine Prince Nicholas Ukachukwu winning the election with 1,455 votes. So it is something that
was that the will of the people of APC in that state?
Yes. The delegates came out and voted. It was a transparent exercise. So everybody saw it. It was an open thing. So it has never happened in the history of APC and Anambra states. Like I told you, I contested in the last election, and this kind of thing have not happened. So I'm so happy about it, and I must tell you that APC and Anambra State is also happy about it.
All right, because a lot of reactions to that. We've seen Honorable Val also reacting towards that election.
How many votes does he have?
So you feel all what that is complaining is...
For him to be complaining. Imagine the gap Dr. Nicholas gave to him. He shouldn't be complaining, because if looking at his number of votes, I don't know what you are complaining about. There are a lot of gaps. So this is to tell you that the people, the delegate came out and made a statement with their votes. And come to think of it, Mr. Val just came into the party without any loyalists. He came on his own.
Defecting from Labour Party to
APC. So I don't know what he's complaining. It's just laughable.
You feel he didn't have good structure to have won that primaries?
No. There is nothing like that. So the delegates came out, they voted who they wanted. And the evangelist Prince Nicholas Ukachukwu won the election with 1,455 votes. It has never happened before. So
do you really feel, Honorable Nicholas can walk this walk with APGA? Because a lot of persons are bothered. This is the calculation that they have, that you cannot put Soludo and also put Honorable Nicholas side by side. That both of them, they are not measurable. So how do you respond to those kind of questions?
It is not a big deal. It is not a big deal to Evangelist Nicholas Ukachukwu. Soludo is 3 years. Let's talk about the challenges of the state first, because when you look at what is going on in the state, that is what we tell you if this person is returning or not. When you look at there are a lot of challenges in the state. Let's start with the insecurity, because the primary assignment of the governor is to provide security of lives and property of the people. But he is lacking behind. This is his 3 years in governance, and there are a lot of challenges in insecurity. It is just this year, and this year is the election year. A lot of people comes with their own strategy to, gain the support of the people. He just came up all of a sudden to address insecurity with untrained people. There was no plan for it. Looking at what is happening, the people he recruited to work on the issue of insecurity, they were not trained, because even their activities, if you look at what they are doing, instead of protecting the people, they add more to what we are seeing in the state. Kidnapping is still ongoing. And there are a lot of murders from the people that were recruited to secure the lives of the people. So the issue of insecurity is totally out of it. He has done nothing about it.
All right, because a lot of persons look at the fact that if he has an intention to set, was it Taiwan policy? Dubai-Taiwan concerns, to build on a stronger economy in general, he has that intention for the state. A lot of persons said, can we allow him to use his head? Yes, just to actualize his vision, because if this is terminated, it therefore means that they'll be taking the state backward. But for these 3 years, do you feel that has reflected over by his actions or inactions in the government?
I love the fact that you use the word he had the intention. Now, someone who has been in power for the past 3 years without executing one of those visions, when it comes to industrialization and industry and business, whatever, what makes you think that he will do that in his next, if he is voted into return? He's been in power for the past 3 years. Number one, A man who came, he's an economist, we all know. Now, you don't have an investment, a personal investment in the state you are calling the people to come home and invest.
Does Nicholas has?
Yes, Nicholas has. You don't have an investment in the state you are calling the people to come home and invest. And then you are talking of making Anambra a business hub. The government, can they begin to tell us the investments that they have done that generates IGR for the state? All we hear is that he's working on roads and all of that. But this same road are the roads that the kidnappers walk through to kidnap the people and to murder people. So there is nothing like that. Our people don't know this. All we hear every day is 4 + 4 is 8. And this is not what we are here for. We need to see the practical aspect of governance, not just saying it, not just on paper. There is nothing like that. There is no investment that generates IGR for the state. There's this recent one they are talking about Soludo Fun City, which they have been building. And until now, it is not existing. It is not working. So how do we expect that this man is returning? When he returns, when we give him another opportunity to return, he will work on those things he said. Whereas you've been in power for the past 3 years, you have not done any of this.
So you feel that he may not need, I mean, giving him another 4 years might not actualize
if
all
3 years
of this
is not enough for him, what will he do in the next term, in his next term, if the opportunity is given to him?
So if you want to speak on the capacity of your candidates of the party, Ukachukwu, a lot of persons, I mean, he was on the media, he spoke about some concern that I used to be the highest employer of labor in Anambra State,
Yes.
Anambra State government, but some person have tried to fact check all of that. But in a way, let's just look at the capacity of Mr. Ukachukwu. What has, I mean, do you feel that this man has what it takes to get that development to Anambra State? Because most oftentimes, giving power to some persons who haven't really been or showed capacity in the public service, not this time private service. It might be an excellent and successful businessman. A lot of persons are worried. If we bring in, if we bring him to the public space, can he be able to deliver this to the people and the plight of the people of Anambra State?
Okay. You know, he made a statement. He said he used to be the highest employer of labor. Someone who had that opportunity to employ more than what the government, the state government, at the time in the state. And he gave the reason why it is no longer like that. And that was the issue of insecurity. You know, he gave instances. There were a lot of things he said. He mentioned critically on insecurity. Now, he also said something. He is going to run Anambra State as a business because you are running the commonwealth of the people. What other way do you think that a man of vision will run the state to be able to achieve his purpose, you know, of the reason why he ran that election? So a man who have been able to employ that number of people, more than what the state used to had, should be able to govern the state, should be able to run the state as his personal business. Because that is the only way you can run Anambra State and achieve the goal. The present governor is not able to do that because he is not in that direction. Even as an economist, there are certain things that he's not meeting up with. When you talk, like we said before, when we talked about investment, you don't know what to invest in the state that should generate IGR for the state. We only put in. But what are other means of generating IGR aside from the federal allocation and other things that comes into the state? These are things that the people are not talking about. All what we know is that he's walking on the road. He's walking on the road and all of that, renovating some places like they circulated on social media. But there are issues, outstanding issues that is before us, which we need to, you know, talk about.
All right. I mean, a lot of matters may shape that elections, but we're trying to look at how possible the chances of APC might be within that state. You've looked at the track record ABGA has.
Yes.
You've also looked at the track record PDP has. So it might look that After Abga took power from PDP for a good number of years, that state has remained an Abga state. And another person will ask, how possible can APC, have a better chances within the state?
Okay.
Looking at also the statistics that from the last election, APC didn't do well in that. In that state. So
Yes.
these are the worries of some persons.
You
It's
know,
just about coming again, because some person have said this is what they have also described your candidate, from what we've also seen, that is a most consistent election loser, and all of those things. This is what they are tagging him. So is it coming again to lose an election?
That is coming from the camp of Apoga. The people that are saying this, before Soludo became governor, he was also a serious loser, because there was never an election he contested, he won. He contested under PDP, he contested under Apoga. He lost all the election until Anambra 2021. And we all knew how he came in. Because at a point, there was a time, his name was not even listed in INEC. It was the immediate past governor that came and, as a sitting governor then, he knew how he did the whole scenario, and he came into the spotlight. We know how he came into the Anambra know how Soludo came into power. So those people that are saying this to my principal, Dr. Nicholas Ukachukwu, you can't be saying that my principal is a severe loser, whereas Mr. Governor, before he came into power in 2021, was also a severe loser.
But he was moving from one party to the other.
From one party to the other.
No, Mr. Ukachukwu has also been moving from one party to the other.
Mr. Governor also did the same. Yes, Mr. Governor himself, Soludo, he also did the same. He was never an Apoga member. He was in PDP.
So why do you feel people should choose APC? Because some persons will look at, some persons are not really, who may have a different opinion about the government at the center. So you may say anything APC, and they don't want to listen. So that is somehow the voices we have on the street. Why do you feel
that is their orientation? There is something I used to tell my friends. We need to look at the ideology of a party. And aside that, we also need to look at the individual contesting an election. One thing I always say is this. There are a lot of good persons who goes into a party because it is a trending party, to have a shield there, to be able to penetrate to win an election. And that is why I always tell people, beyond political party, let's also look at individuals, personality, so that we can be able to make the right choice, so that we can be able to vote in the right people. Now look at what is happening. Let's look at the minimum wage. Mr. President is the APC, is from the APC, and he has given an order for 70,000 to be paid as a minimum wage. Now, the person that is the governor of Anambra State is not an APC. He is an Apoga. But he is not paying that new minimum wage. Rather, he added 10,000 to their salary. And so, is it about the party now or about individual? Can we begin to look at it from this end? You can see that leadership is more about a person. It is not just about a political party. And even at that, the ideology of a party can also thrive. If Mr. President have given an order on the new minimum wage, and in my own state, where people believe that Apoga are the ones in power, is not executing that order, is it about the party or about the personality? So these are things we begin to look at. Because our people don't understand this thing. Some of them, when they hear APC, or they will say, no. But look at what is going on. This person that is doing this is not an APC. He is from Apoga. So we need to talk about this. And then we talk about insecurity in the state. The person in power in the state, Mr. Governor, Governor Soludo, he is not an APC, he is Apoga. But he was not able to sort out the issue of insecurity. For the past 3 years, he's been in power.
Do you feel he will do more in terms of security? Because some persons will argue with you that issues of security,
is a collective effort.
Okay,
even if it's a collective effort, he should lead. He should lead. Do you fight insecurity with untrained men? You don't fight insecurity with untrained men, because it is a very tactical issue.
So do you feel it's a politically motivated issue, right?
Yes, it is.
The insecurity.
Yes, it is. Because how can you all of a sudden come up to begin to fight insecurity in an election year, and you are not fighting insecurity with trained people? You just gather all kinds of people and tell them to go to the field to secure the place without anything that they can work with.
Isn't that
yesterday? Something happened yesterday at Nkwannewi. One of the security guys the government employed, you know, accidentally, like they said, shot a woman. And when he was asked what happened, he said it was accidental. It was an accident. So if we continue having this kind of accident, don't you think our people will be wiped away? Something happened the other time. When they recruited this set of people that is now using on security, when they recruited them newly, it was all over the social media, and people were happy because every day we see them gather people, put inside the healers and drive them away. Sometimes they parade them, they say they are kidnappers and armed robbers. But something happened. There was one incident that happened. They were parading some group of people they picked up with their faces covered. And when I saw that, I said, these people that their faces are covered and you say you are parading them, then what is the essence of you parading people and their faces covered? How do we know that these are kidnappers or armed robbers? Do you know that statement I made? Some of them, they kept mute. They didn't say anything. Then, maybe a day later, the next thing we saw was about 3 people. Okay, 2 people from among those people they picked up were shot dead. And those people were from Soludo's Mr. Governor's community. And then, you know, people was like, since it is from their community that they have no business, after all, they are from his community. But you don't just conclude that because you don't know who will be the next victim. So I started raising alarm, and some other people started talking again that no, we shouldn't keep mute about this matter. And lo and behold, a day later, they began to free some people. Those same people they picked, lo and behold, they were all innocent people. How do you fight insecurity with this kind of people going about on the street, picking up innocent people, killing them? Imagine for this particular one to be exposed. Know how many people they have carried, the number of people they have carried, and they have their life went for it. In the name of trying to please the people, to get the support of the people. Why must it be in the election year that Soludo we arise to fight insecurity? What have Soludo been doing from the first day he came into power? Soludo, before he came into power, his father was kidnapped. His in-law was kidnapped. The primary assignment of a sitting governor is to secure the lives and property of his people. So he has fared woefully. If he could not fix it in these past 3 years, he can't fix it.
So even if these 4 years is now added to him by not addressing
he can't do it.
Insecurity.
He can't fix it.
How is your camp receiving the news that Otto Eze has endorsed Soludo for a second term? A lot of persons are saying that is an heavyweight billionaire, Prince Otto Eze, endorsing the re-election of Governor Soludo. How is your camp receiving that?
Aside Prince Otto Eze, there was this other past governor that also endorsed him, and Senator Dr. Ngige also endorsed him. To me, it's a laughable event, because if Senator Dr. Ngige, you know, was once a sitting governor, and during his term, the only thing people talked about his tenure was that he built road, Anambra Road, that he built solid road. But that was the same road that the kidnappers that came to kidnap him as a sitting governor, it was the same road they took. That solid road he walked on, that was the same road they took to come and kidnap him as a sitting governor. This is why we are talking, you know, we are hammering on security of lives and property. It's not just about...
That is what really matters to
Anambra
right now.
That is not just only Anambra, generally. It is not just about building structures. You must protect, even if you want to build, there must be security. You must protect the lives, the property. If you are calling people to come back home to invest, are they coming back home to, you know, to have a very conducive environment to invest? Or the story will be different. And that was why I said, Mr. Governor Charles Chukwuma Soludo, that is calling the people to come back home to invest. How many personal investments does he have in Anambra State? Because if you have, maybe you will have the push to fight insecurity, because you likely will be a victim someday. But there is nothing like that. His family is not living in Nigeria. You see why people are afraid. You can't be telling me to come back when yourself don't have a structure, any personal investment in Anambra State. Even the government that should have an investment that generates IGR for them, there is nothing like that. So it is not just about building road. Then the issue of Dr. Arteze. Well, these are not the only two stakeholders we have in Anambra State. But if it is this, out of the thousands of stakeholders we have in Anambra State, only Dr. Arteze and Senator Ngige that endorse Soludo for this, don't you see that there is a problem? Are they the only two stakeholders we have in Anambra State?
So do we have other stakeholders?
We have other political stakeholders in Anambra State. So there is serious problem. Ever since Dr. Nicholas Ukachukwu emerged as APC winner, he has been running from here to there. So there are a lot of issues.
His candidacy is giving Soludo, a very tough time as we speak.
Even you can attest to it. Every day there are a lot of propaganda, blackmails, a lot of things coming up.
All right, as we begin to wrap up, what are the factors? I understand you've highlighted the issues of insecurity as one of the factors that may shape this election. What are the major factors, considering all of those things, that may be an advantage to your party? And not just that, and also what may be better for the people of Anambra State, because governance in the subnational is so important that if that's a development or, effort is not being made at the subnationals, we may not talk of getting Nigeria's development right. So there's a need to also tackle some of these issues from the subnational and even the local government level. I understand that your governor had said that it is a strange arrangement, issues of local government autonomy, that it was a total strange arrangement. It was kicking against it. But some person said, can we listen to him? Probably he has another intention, for the local government implementation from what the Supreme Court had said to grant financial autonomy.
He is against what the Supreme Court...
he was kicking against that.
He's still
against it today.
Yes,
does he have an alternative plan for that implementation of the local government? Because he's saying that we cannot totally exclude the state from knowing what the local governments are doing so that effectively the project can be well implemented. Don't you feel it's valid?
Whatever his plans are, whatever it is, I don't think he has that opportunity to execute it. And so my principle is coming in to fix all those things, so that the local government can have direct access. And there will be massive development in all our local governments. So my principal, Dr. Nicholas Ukachukwu, is coming to fix all those things. And then there will be massive business activities going on in the state. Investors. When Mr. Governor Charles Chukwuma Soludo came into power, he talks about bringing in foreign investment. How many foreign investment do we have in Anambra State? He's not a businessman. This is why I said we should begin to consider voting personalities than just... It is not about Apuga. Who are you voting into power? There are people who hide under the umbrella of a party, because it is a trending thing. But then they are not the people that are supposed to be voting because they don't understand the system. Now my principal is a businessman and he's going to run Anambra as a business because he's running the commonwealth of the people. So there are a lot of issues, that my principal is coming into fix as long as Anambra State is concerned. Mr. Mike, Governor Soludo is not returning the second time.
All right. The people of Anambra, they say, will decide on election.
They will make a last statement come November 8th. It will be very loud.
We'll see how that turn out to be. But, the bid to taking you to what is happening in the country and the insecurity situations that we're having in the country, I may understand that you may have a concern on how this can be well managed. We've seen concerns about not just Anambra, as you said, even the Southeast. Some person are saying can we begin to pay attention to our insecurity, deploying the right, the security agencies doing it rightly and getting all of these menace addressed? Even some of you people are saying, can they release Nnamdi Kanu as well? That may also address the situation that we have. What do you make out of the issues of insecurity we have in this country?
You know, one thing that we lack is that when the governors, the Southeast governors, does not come together to agree on one in a decision, it affects every other thing that is going on. We have to start from the house. We have to come together, you know, in the house. The Southeast governor needs to come together to not just speak on those things. They have been saying a lot of things since that event took place. But then, where are we today? So it is about the unity of the Southeast governor. Not just talking, not just coming to meeting. When they decide this is what we want, and they go together and present this to the national, I think from there, they will begin to give them a listening ear. As long as insecurity is concerned, there are people that should take the lead. The Southeast, you know, clamoring for the release of Nnamdi Kanu. The governors are to take the lead. The Southeast governors are to take the lead. But when they are not united to work towards one purpose, how are we going to achieve that?
All right, a very good one there, right there. So there's a need for the partnership from the state just to be able to come together and see how they can, you know, seek solutions.
It's just as simple as that.
All of that, agitations as well. As we begin to wrap up, a lot, of course, will be said about the APC has already set up a reconciliatory committee to see how they can reconcile their aggrieved members of your party who probably feel cheated out of the primary elections. Do you feel that the likes of Honorable Val and the rest who are not really, pleased with how things went on can still have, you know, what it takes to still give your candidate support? Because after primaries, what we normally witness is the fact that the party candidate or those who aspire are always working against the party. So if that situations may happen again, or do you feel that the committee that have been set up will address that situation?
Yeah, thank you. The committee that has been set up, we address it. You know, the reason why we always say Apoga is always winning election is because of the disunity in the opposition party, in other political party. This year election is quite different. And I must tell you, come November 8th, APC is taking over Anambra State because we are more united now. And with what the reconciliation team is doing, we are coming. I was telling my friend that Ikukwoma, you know, we used to call him Ikukwoma, my principal. We are not just coming with the wind of glory. We are coming with a wide wind.
All right.
There will be a tsunami.
We do hope it plays out. You know, this is always politicians making boast of what they may
there will
have.
Be a tsunami.
The situations are always on different. Thanks so much, Honorable Esedoru, the member of All Progressive Congress, former aspirant House of Reps of East West Anambra Federal Constituency. Thanks so much for joining us on the show tonight.
Thank you.
Everyone, we'll be, after the break and returning, we'll be looking at the situations from the presidency. A lot of persons are analyzing some events. They're concerned on how the path this government is going to, and just a month getting to a month of making it 2 years of this administration. What does it look like for these presidency? We'll be looking at that just after this break. Please stay with us. I'll be right back. Policies and political actors are in the news every day, all day. And on our part, we guide you through the noise and get you to the heart of the matter. Big Talk is your home of all-angle analysis of the top political stories. Airing weekdays on Global TV, 7 p.m. Big Talk, engaging and insightful.